Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? How are we doing? Welcome to Model Monday Live, where you get your weekly fix of 3D CAD versus 3D CAD speed modeling. The one and only. There's many like us, but no originals. Except for us. We're the original. The only original. Mr. Alex in the chat says, do you know that starting your YouTube channel gives 2 ads, 30 seconds plus 10 seconds? Are you filling from this or just YouTube? I'm willing to bet that YouTube is getting the majority stake in that deal, Mr. Alex. Wish I had better news for you. They're doing it more and more. Yeah, weekday, Wednesday, weekend knows they're doing it more and more. Well, I'm trying to see if my music sounds good. Music's a little low. I think I'm going to bump up the music just a little bit. I like the music. If it's too loud, you guys tell me and I'll turn it down. But I like it when it's a little bit more on the side where we can hear it. Bob Phelps is in the chat, says hello from Iowa. Bob, thank you for joining us. Welcome, 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 everyone. We got a lot of old friends in here today. We got Stu 3D is here. What's up? Phosphor is here. Welcome, welcome. AMO Alex is here. Getting ready for his big match this week. Bodie McBoatpants is in the chat. What's up, my man? Thanks for joining us. Dom is here. What is up? What is up? Wednesday weekend, weekday Wednesday Warrior is here. Welcome, welcome. And Aaron C is here. Says, what's good, everybody? It's good that you're here, Aaron C. That's what's good, bro. Victor K is here. The world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling is in the house. Going to compete with you guys today. Where else can you go to compete with the world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling? The answer is nowhere. There's nowhere else he can go. Rich Penn is here. What's up, my old friend? Thank you for joining us today. And let's see. Yeah, nice. Amir Shea is here. What's up, Amir? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Jern is here. Welcome. Bob again, welcome. And Joe Satcher is here. If it's too loud, you're too old. Yes. Very, very true. Very, very true. Airwick is here, getting ready for his big match this week. Sahil is in the chat. Mr. Alex is here. It's Airwick versus Mr. Alex this week, right? I think that's what the matchup is, if I'm not mistaken. All right, guys. Welcome to everyone. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. We taught last week. We had a training class, our first training class, Advanced Part Modeling. It was awesome. It was fun to go back through the book. I wrote that book, but I haven't looked at it in a few months. And so I got to go back through and look at it. And I'm like, this book is awesome. I did so good with this book. It's like one of the best classes that I've ever read. And I'm the one who wrote it. So it's like so awesome to see that class was able to be taught and really successful. Everything went off without a hitch. All the training files worked. I've collected most of the typos in the training manual. There's still 1 or 2 that I have to work out for the next revision of the book, but most of the typos are collected and corrected. So yeah, feeling very, very good. Manjo Pereira in the chat says, hello, which software are you using? I think I'm going to use, I don't know what I'm going to use. I don't know if you're asking me or if you're asking everybody else. So everybody's using something different. We have lots and lots of different users in here. Toby used SolidWorks 2015. 2015 is my favorite build. That is true. I do use SolidWorks 2020 more these days than SolidWorks 2015, but any chance I get, I use it, and I certainly like to evangelize SolidWorks 2015. I think that was the peak of stability and performance and speed and functionality. You kind of got it all there. After that, they added a couple of little, functionality things, but you kind of like pay the price in performance and sometimes stability, depending on which features you're using. So Sahil says, publish your book, Toby. Well, it is available. All you got to do is take a training class, and you too could be a proud owner of that book. All right, let's go. Let's get into it here. We are going to do some 3D CAD speed modeling practice for the chat. We're going to find out who's the fastest in the chat. And we're going to do 2 speed modeling challenges. We're going to do a live solve. I think I'm actually going to use SolidWorks, not OnShape, for the live solve today. We'll talk a little bit about the next matches in the tournament. The model that I'm going to solve today is going to be a little bit of a surprise. I'm going to do something a little different today with this live solve. So we'll save that. It's going to be a little bit of a surprise. And for all of you, I'm going to show you a 2D print. I'm going to challenge you to turn it into a 3D model as quickly as you can. After you create that 3D model, you're going to use the mass that is in the title block, and you're going to try to calculate, you're going to use the density that is in the title block, and you're going to try to calculate the mass. And you're going to enter that mass directly into YouTube. So let's get into it here. The basic rules are you can use any 3D CAD package as long as you can input the density and output the mass. You're going to use the specified precision, and the first correct answer in the chat will be declared the winner. And hold on, what's going on in my chat over here? Is it getting cropped weird? No, it's okay. And the units that we use are shown here. If you're here for the first time, of course, let us know in the chat if you're here for the first time, if you're competing for the first time. And these are the materials and the unit systems that we use. So maybe take a screen capture of this and make sure that your material densities match up. They're going to be different if you're using Inventor or if you're using Onshape or if you're using Fusion. The material density might be a little bit different. Oh, we have Aaron C in the chat, here for the first time. Oh, today. Here for the first time today. Okay, good. Good. Well, welcome, Aaron C. Welcome. Welcome to the challenges and good luck. This is meant to be fun and good-spirited. And also, I will make mistakes along the way. So if I make a mistake, we're not going to panic. We're not going to freak out. We're just going to do an audible. We'll figure it out, and we will move forward. And the Ivan exploit is permitted. If you feel the need or the desire to use the Ivan exploit, it can be implemented here in Model Monday Live. All right, that's it for the rules. Let's flip over to full screen. I'm going to show all of you a 2D print here in full screen, and you are going to try and turn this 2D print into a 3D model as quickly as you can. And then you're going to calculate the mass of that model and enter that mass directly in the chat. Metal Sim Racer X is here in the chat. Says, hello. Is it Friday yet? It feels like Friday. Every time we do Model Monday Live, it feels like a Friday. All right, here we go, guys. This first challenge begins. Oh, hey, by the way, just a quick note here. By the way, both the challenges today are brand new. I didn't borrow them from any previous tournaments or any previous challenges. I'm trying to put in the work ahead of time and give you guys brand new challenges. Maybe not every single week, but I'm trying to roll out some brand new challenges for you each time to kind of keep it exciting for my, my true homies who are here joining us in the live stream every Monday. So I do really thank you guys, and I want to make sure I keep it fresh and keep it exciting for you. So we're going again here with some more brand new challenges for you. And this first challenge begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in 0.xxx pounds? The tolerance on this one is plus or minus 0.002 pounds. The unit system is IPS, so we're working in inches. I feel like when we work in inches, that should automatically increase the tier for complexity. The material is 1060 aluminum alloy, and the density is 2,700 kilograms per cubic meter. Now, I do have this tagged as a tier 4 part. The truth is it's right on the cusp between a tier 3 and a tier 4, but it is a tier 4 part, and that complexity is based on kind of the number of features that a regular workflow would take to complete if you're not trying to like jam everything into one feature, using like an obtuse modeling approach, like a ridiculous modeling approach. If you were doing a normal, regular modeling approach, how many features would it take to complete this thing? And is there anything kind of tricky in the model? If there's anything that's a little bit tricky in the model, then maybe that gets it to bump one tier ranking. And that's kind of what made this bump from tier 3 to tier 4. Whenever we have a rib that goes up and that kind of touches off tangent to a cylindrical body and touches off tangent or coincident to the top of that cylinder, that gets to be a little tricky. People seem to struggle with that type of geometry. And so you can see here that we can maybe use that to justify bumping this into the tier 4 category. So the complexity tier 4 for this model, it is also in inches, which I think should also bump it up another level of complexity, just purely from being in inches. So you guys are going to grab a screen capture of this print. You're going to try to turn that screen capture into a 3D model using whatever CAD system you have. And you're going to see if you can do this faster than anyone else in the chat. And I'm going to leave this up on the screen. I'm going to take one more sip of my coffee, and then we are going to move on with today's presentation. So there it was. I slurped it a little bit. It's a little early afternoon coffee. All right. That hopefully was enough time. If not, you can use the DVR function in YouTube, and you can roll back the video, and then you can see the full screen copy of this print. Good luck to everyone. A little bit of a tricky part. I think you guys will enjoy this one. A little warm up, really, for our Model Monday Live episode. And if you guys enjoy this type of thing, Rob Knightley says, coffee. Yes, indeed. Nothing better than a little early afternoon coffee. So if you guys are enjoying this type of content, if you're enjoying the channel, the easiest way to support it is just to hit that like button. Go on over. I'm going to go over to my monitoring computer here, and I'm going to make sure that I hit that like button. And we are going to see what our viewer to like ratio is. So it looks like we got 28 people watching. We got 10 likes. Let's see what we can do to get that to 1-to-1. We always want that to be 1-to-1. The viewer to, really ideally, we want our likes to be more than the viewers, because sometimes people have to leave in the middle of the stream. So make sure that you go over and you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and share and reshare. Maybe we could have a little challenge this week. The challenge could be for you to walk up to one of your coworkers and to whisper in his ear and to say to him, hey, go to TooTallToby.com. Go to YouTube and watch TooTallToby. It's pretty epic. Look at these answers coming in. Victor K comes in with an answer, and Dom is right behind him, and Aaron C is right behind him. Man, these are some tight answers coming in here. I like this. These guys are fast today. That's what we like to see. The rib feature did not like that. Yeah, indeed. So don't forget, tell a coworker, walk up to a coworker and say, hey, go to TooTallToby.com, watch the YouTube channel. And of course, there's also avenues if you wanted to do a financial contribution to the channel. That always helps. We always welcome any kind of financial contribution. People sometimes ask, hey, is there a place I can go to donate? There absolutely is. TooTallToby.com/donate is the ideal spot. You can use credit card or PayPal there at TooTallToby.com/donate. Got some other avenues too, super chat and super thanks. But the ideal channel is TooTallToby.com/donate. All right, guys, let's talk about what's going on in the world of TooTallToby. First of all, like I mentioned, we did do some training last week. We do have a training schedule up at TooTallToby.com/training. If you or any of your coworkers are interested in getting some SolidWorks training, advanced part design, intermediate assembly techniques, CSWP prep, or SolidWorks tips and tricks training, you can visit us at TooTallToby.com/training. We can sign you up for that training, or your coworkers, or talk to your training coordinator. This isn't, a lot of times this isn't something you have to pay for. This is something your company will pay for. So it's basically free training for you. So talk to your training coordinator, talk to your engineering manager, say, hey, I know this guy who's awesome at SolidWorks. He does training classes. He has classes ready to go with books, with amazing covers, and then you can get them to maybe pay for it. And shout out to Victor K in the chat, says, cheers to the fresh drawings, and sends in the first super chat of the day. Thank you so much, Victor K. Very much appreciated. And I'm glad that you appreciate the fresh drawing action that we're seeing here in Model Monday Live. The past few episodes have been all fresh new drawings, and that's what we try to do. Fresh new drawings whenever we can, time permitting. So when you take the training with Toby, you not only get this book with the amazing cover and a bundle of training files, you also get an official training certificate. Awesome student #1. So be sure to join us for training. Training is available, TooTallToby.com/training. Okay, the March leaderboard is up and running now. The March leaderboard is up and running. Wait, hold on a second, guys. I thought I had a different slide here. I'm not seeing it. I want to make sure I didn't accidentally hide it. There's another piece of news I want to make sure that I get out to everyone. Let's see here. Is it coming? Maybe it's still coming up. I thought I had front loaded this one. Just bear with me, guys. We're doing a little bit of on the fly technical adjustments here. I see Ex Machina's in the chat. What's up, my man? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Where is this slide? I feel like I'm losing my mind a little bit here, guys. I gotta make a little adjustment here on the fly. We're gonna do a little bit of PowerPoint editing here on the fly because somehow I managed to get rid of something that I didn't mean to get rid of. So, wait, no, it's right here. It is hidden. That's what the problem was. It is hidden. Okay, here we go. Hold on one sec, guys. It is hidden. I hit a slide. All right, let's just roll back one step here. And you get to get an amazing training certificate as well when you take the training with TooTallToby. So welcome to Ex Machina. Thanks for joining us. Dennis Griffin in the chat coming in with an answer. Well done, my friend. Well done, well done. So guys, another piece of news in the world of TooTallToby. Tomorrow, March 5th, there's an Onshape webinar, and you are not going to want to miss this. Onshape has been working with the team at CAD Sharp and have developed a plugin for Onshape that lets you go in both directions, from SolidWorks to Onshape or from Onshape back to SolidWorks, for true feature-to-feature translation, including sketches and dimensions. So you are not going to want to miss this. I'm going to be talking about this more. I'm going to be showing you guys some more examples of how this thing works. But if you're ever interested in doing data translation from SolidWorks to Onshape, taking your files and moving them one way or the other, doing true data translation, you're going to be able to do this now using Onshape, using SolidWorks, and getting true feature-to-feature translation, including sketches and driving dimensions. So very, very interesting. There is a link right in the description of this live stream, and that link is related back to me. So if you're considering taking a look at this, if this is something that you think is going to be interesting to you, be sure to use that link that's down in the description of today's live stream. That way, you know, they'll kind of know that it was me that pushed you in that direction. That always helps with my relationship with some of our vendors. So check it out. There's a link down in the description. There's a link here, this QR code, but it really, really is interesting. I see in the chat, you guys are all saying, hey, this looks pretty interesting. Definitely looks like an interesting webinar here, and I'm excited to see it tomorrow. And I've already seen the thing in action. I've used it a little bit, and I'm excited to use it more and to show you guys what I've learned about it so far. So that's all coming in the near future. But for now, focus on tomorrow, the Onshape webinar tomorrow. All the descriptions, the time in your time zone, it's all included in that link down below in the description of this live stream. All right, let's move on here. Some more news in the world of TooTallToby. The March leaderboard is up and running. I think we have 2 people in the March leaderboard already here. I think they're in the chat as well. I think it's Dom and Eric. Yeah. So Dom and Eric have already done this challenge. So if you're not familiar with the TooTallToby leaderboard challenge, what you need to do is take a look at these 3 drawings. So you go here, TooTallToby.com/leaderboard, TooTallToby.com/leaderboard. I'll drop this in the link in case you're interested. And then when you go to TooTallToby.com/leaderboard, you click here where it says speed model these 3 parts. And you've got drawing 1, drawing 2, drawing 3. And you can click on this drawing, you can look at it, you can practice as many times as you want. But then when you're ready to actually do your run, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go and you're gonna record yourself. So you click this button here that says compete, and you're gonna record yourself with this clock on the screen, and you're gonna record yourself doing this challenge and speed modeling all 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, bang, 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 all in a row. And so what we can see here is that so far we've had a couple of people who have done this run. Erwick did it in 4 minutes. Dom did it in 5:53. And what you can do is you can go here to where it says record your run and reply to this video, and you'll be able to see all the replies from people who have completed this challenge. So got mine set to, here we go. So you can see here that Erwick did it, included a link to his video of his run, and we see that Dom did it and included a link to the video of his run. So if you click on Dom's video here, you can see he's modeling these parts, he's modeling them up as quick as he can. He's got the clock over here on the left, so you can actually see people, you can watch other people modeling, you can kind of learn from how they did it, and we're gonna see who can come up with the fastest time throughout the month of March for this leaderboard challenge. So very excited for the leaderboard challenge. Very excited to see who else comes in here and kind of some of the different CAD systems. You can see in the past we've had a lot of variety, a lot of different CAD systems participate in this. And I'm going to be giving it a run myself this week. I'm going to make a run and I'll record it and I'll post it. And so we'll see how fast I can get it. I'll be happy if I can get less than 10 minutes. So that's kind of the bar that I'm setting for myself, but who knows, maybe I'll get even faster than that. We did release some videos this week, some practice models, some highlights from the tournament, the Leaderboard Synthwave Challenge, A little bit lighter on the videos this week because I was training last week, but we have continued the shorts every single day. We are releasing a new short, a new CAD tips and tricks. It's all SolidWorks right now, but I'm going to be releasing some tips and tricks from some other CAD systems as well. But every single day we are releasing the shorts. So if you know anybody who's in the world of 3D CAD and you think they'll benefit from this, send them a link to the YouTube channel, send them a link to the shorts, and that'll help us to continue to grow this channel. If you're ever wondering what we're up to, if you're ever wondering like, hey, it seems like he's a little light this week on content, you can always go and look at the calendar and you can see if I'm training. That's TooTallToby.com/calendar. And then you'll kind of know like maybe why I haven't been up there. Victor K says, shorts have some awesome quick tips. Thank you, Victor K. That's a true compliment from the world champion at 3D speed modeling. So thank you so much. I'm glad that they're helping me. I got some other ones. I learned some pretty cool ones this week, actually, from training from my students. They taught me some pretty cool additional power moves. So now let's talk real quick about the Spring Open. The Spring Open is currently running. This is our spring tournament, and the tournament bracket is available for everyone to consume over at TooTallToby.com. So if you go to TooTallToby.com, you just hit the home page, you can click right here, and that bracket will be available in Super HD. I think it's like a 6 meg file, so it may take a little bit longer to load if you're on a slower computer, but it allows you to zoom in. You can kind of see all of our runners. You can see what everybody's been up to, and you can kind of see what the next matches are going to be. So how our runners got to the Elite 8, who they had to beat to get to the Elite 8, and let's see how they all do. Let's see who makes it to March 20th. I can't believe we're only 3 weeks away from the finals. So very excited to see who takes down the big prizes and who makes it all the way to March 20th. But before we can get there, we have to go through the Elite 8, and we have some amazing matchups for the Elite 8. And we also picked up some pretty good sponsors moving into the Elite 8. So Libre has been with us. They were with us last tournament, put up some great prizes. This tournament, they've also put up some great prizes. And if you're interested in purchasing your own CAD CAD, a true standalone CAD CAD that you download, you install, you own it, you can visit Libre.com. And you can use code TooTallToby22MAR. That is also included down in the description, and you can get a discount on your entire cart. So check that out for sure. Jern in the chat says, I like the shorts too. They give me a quick idea of what to develop for Build 123D. Nice. I like it. Very nice. My SolidBox has been with us for a long time. Professional, no IT required computer solutions. Huge shout out to the crew at My SolidBox. And then some new sponsors for the Elite 8. We've got Just In Time CAD Cam, or JIT CAD Cam, a veteran-owned Autodesk reseller in the US that specializes in Fusion, HSM Works, and Inventor Cam. And you can visit them at jitcadcam.com. And very excited to have them as a sponsor for the Elite 8. And also, Onshape is sponsoring our semifinals and finals on March 20th. And if you or if your team is interested in trying out Onshape, you can use this code, onshape.pro. It's actually a URL, onshape.pro/TooTallToby, and that'll get your team Onshape for 6 months. So you as a team can use Onshape basically for one entire project, or however many you can do in 6 months. You can maybe do 50 projects in 6 months, but you can use it for the entire cycle of a few projects and really see how Onshape could benefit your team if you're doing collaboration, and if you want to benefit from kind of allowing anybody to work from anywhere. The collaboration tools in Onshape are really incredible and definitely worth checking out. So onshape.pro/TooTallToby will get you and your team Onshape for 6 months, and huge thank you to them for sponsoring our finals and semifinals. And so the Elite 8, which starts off this Wednesday, is going to feature a match between Imants, who came in, I think, fourth in the World Championship, made it all the way to the semifinals of the World Championship last year. Super fast runner on Onshape, and also the younger brother of the World Champion from 2022. Imants running Onshape, going up against Ex Machina, who's in the chat, running a Libre, representing a Libre, super fast a Libre user. I've watched that highlight from Ex Machina probably 50 times. He's so fast in a Libre, so very excited to see that. We are going to be seeing this matchup this Wednesday. Wait, that's great pick on me. Shame it won't be seeing it past Wednesday. LOL. You never know, man. You never know. You are pretty solid, and it's very impressive to watch you work. And all it takes is, Imants maybe misses a feature or is going slow that day or whatever. I mean, don't positive. You got to be positive mindset. So we're going to see Ex Machina going up against Imants on Wednesday, March 6th, this Wednesday. And then in our second match, we're going to see Mr. Alex, who's in the chat, AMO Alex, going up against Airwick. This is going to be another epic matchup. Latvia versus Canada and SolidWorks versus Onshape. So can't wait to see that matchup. It's going to be really, really good. Another real nice set. All these matchups are so nice. I'm so excited for all of them. Then we're going to see our very first SolidWorks versus SolidWorks matchup. We haven't had any SolidWorks versus SolidWorks thus far in the tournament. So we're going to see Dom from the United States going up against Riccardo Salato from Italy. And wow, Riccardo is definitely one of the fastest runners we've seen in the tournament. So Dom, you got your work cut out for you. Good luck to both of our runners. Fortunately, they've already been through one match, so at least they kind of know what to expect and kind of how to handle the nerves, hopefully. And it is absolutely nerve-wracking during these tournaments. And then we're going to finish off on March 13th with a little instructor versus instructor battle. So this is going to be really interesting. We've got Chadwick, who's an instructor in Inventor, going up against Crispy Co, who's an instructor in SolidWorks. So this is going to be a really interesting match. One thing I noticed watching Crispy Co in his last match is that he really knows all the shortcuts. And I can just tell, as a fellow SolidWorks instructor, I can tell that he's an instructor because he really knows all the little nuanced shortcuts, all the little cool workflows. He's obviously made some of these parts many, many times in class, and now he's putting his skills to the test. So Crispy Co is a number 12 seed in the Elite 8. I think he might be the highest seed. Oh wait, Riccardo Salato number 12. I must have that. I'm gonna have to double check my work for his seed number, but I think it's going to be really interesting to see these guys going up against each other, instructor versus instructor. So guys, be sure to join us on Wednesdays as we continue the Spring Open. We did do something really cool this last episode, the last live stream. After the live stream was over, we did a Discord chat and invited everybody into that chat. So the runners and anybody who's watching, anybody who's in the TooTallToby Discord can join us in the after party chat in the tournaments server, in the Discord server, the TooTallToby server. So the tournament section, excuse me. So you can join us after the tournament and you can hang out with the runners. You can ask them any questions that you have. And it's really funny. It's just really funny to talk to the runners and find out how nervous that they were, because it's something that you really can't explain. But if you've done it before, you know it. And so it's great to have some people in there who have run the tournament before, who know how it feels. And great to have some people in there maybe who are in there for the first time. So very, very cool. Mr. Alex saying TooTallToby seed number doesn't mean anything in real life matchups. So that's a great observation, Mr. Alex, and I completely agree with you, because if you think about it, what we do in the leaderboard to qualify for the tournament and to get your seed ranking is oh look, somebody else just did the leaderboard challenge. A second ago there was only 2 people, now there's a third person. So what we do for the tournament, for the Spring Open, is a very similar qualification process. We have people create these 3 drawings from the tournament page and model them up, and whoever models them the fastest is going to get the number 1 seed. But that's practicing over and over and over again. It's refining your workflow. It's really coming up with a good workflow. It's kind of like knowing and strategizing and building and unbuilding and trying different things and then recording your run. That's a very different skill set from here's a 2D print, turn it into a 3D model, go. It's the first time you're seeing it. So I completely agree with you, Mr. Alex. It is very different. Those seed numbers don't necessarily mean you're going to be the best in the tournament. And so it really is up for grabs. It really is anybody's game right now. So very, very exciting. Very, very excited to see how this thing turns out. And if you want to join us afterwards, you can join us in the Discord after party. Link down below to join the TooTallToby Discord. And the practice models have been updated. I think we have 21 on there now. I think that's what we're at now. And of course, there's going to be more coming this month in March. The practice models page, TooTallToby.com/practice, has a bunch of drawings for you to do. You can see that my user here, Nikola Tesla, I've completed 3 of these drawings. So I did number 1, number 2, number 3. But there's still many, many more for me to complete. So I think there's a total of 21 now. If we go to the leaderboard, we can see if anybody did all 21. Whoa! A lot of people did all 21. Wow, look at this. So 19 people have done all 21. And right now the leaderboard is just based on on completion. So basically all 19 of these people are tied, but you guys are going to see as the year rolls on, we're going to have some enhancements to this leaderboard. We are collecting other data too, like how fast it's taking you to do each of these models, and that's going to factor in as well. So we're going to show you guys a lot more data with this thing eventually. Right now, we're just capturing how many models you've done, and super impressed to see here that 19 people have done all 21 models. Wow, wow, wow. That is awesome. Lots of different CAD systems in here too. SolidWorks, leave a free CAD, One Man Willie. Nice. So lots of different CAD systems in here too. Really like seeing all the variety of CAD systems. Iron CAD, yo, let's go. I like seeing Iron CAD in here. All right, let's continue on here with today's presentation and talk about, that's it. Talk about nothing. Let's talk about how to support the channel. Hit the like button. Let's hit that like button. We got 26 people watching. Let's see what we're up to in likes here. Let me look at my monitoring computer here. 19 likes. That's a lot better than what we had before. Let's see if we can get that to match up as we take a look at our first challenge here. So our first challenge was this chair wheel riser, and let's see what we got as far as answers go. I know we got some answers like right away as we were going through this thing. So as we were just getting started, Victor K comes in with an answer of .838. Dom coming in .838. Aaron C .838. Phosphor coming in .838. Using plasticity. Nice. Let's see here. Dennis coming in .84. We got Airwick coming in .838. Very nice to Airwick there. Mr. Alex coming in .838. I'm seeing a lot of consistency here. Joe needs to make sure that he uses the correct precision there. .84. Probably .838 as well. Stu coming in 1.39, maybe a little high. Weekday, weekend coming in 836. And Amir .838. Very nice. Bob Phelps coming in .838. Stu 3D coming in .838. I like it. I like it. And Mr. Alex coming in €5. Thank you so much, Mr. Alex. Good luck, third runner in March leaderboard. Juiced. Just miss it. We'll see. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he does. So, all right, guys, we got a lot of good answers there. Let's see. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is 0.838. That is the correct answer. So that first point is going to go to none other than Victor K, our current world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling. I guess Joe got it right. 0.84 is within tolerance, right? So good job, Joe. 0.84. Dennis Griffin got it correct. 0.84. Good job. So Victor K gets it correct. Congratulations to everybody who did that model. Not the easiest model in the world, not the toughest model in the world. Right down the center. That's what we like. So GG to Victor K, earning another point, getting first blood on the TooTallToby leaderboard for Model Monday Live, right? So we got Model Monday Live. We have a little leaderboard on here. Look at this. It's already updated. It's like Google is listening to us. We already see that Victor K is in there with a point. So congratulations to Victor K for getting on that leaderboard for Model Monday Live. Well done. TooTallToby.com/model_Monday_live. You can check that out as well. GG, Victor K. Yes, indeed. All right, guys, here we go. Next challenge. Your next 2D to 3D CAD challenge begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? We're back to metric. That's what I like. This one has one magenta dimension on it. Whenever I have magenta notes or magenta dimensions, it just means, hey, you know, be on the lookout for this. This is our raised T-clip. And this is MMGS. The material is ABS. The density is 1020 kilograms per cubic meter. Taking a little sip of my delicious beverage here. Giving you guys a chance to grab a screen capture and begin modeling this sort of tricky part. Again, we're tier 4 here. I'm not going too crazy on Model Monday Live. Sometimes we have some tier 5, even tier 6 challenges in here. We're going to see more of those deeper challenges as we get into these deeper phases of the tournament. So we're definitely going to see a lot more tier 5 models here going into our Elite 8 this Wednesday. So be ready. Be ready. So what is the mass of this part in XXX grams? I hope that was enough time for you to take a screen capture, because we're going to move on with our presentation here. Weekday, Wednesday, Warrior says, that triangle ridge following the curve is tough. Yes, I agree. I agree. And so as we move on and get into our kind of live demo, I do want to just kind of make an announcement here, guys. We are working with the crew at SolidBox. We're working on locking down a date. We're going to see a different type of tech conference. We're going to call this thing codename SolidBox World. SolidBox World. We've been talking about it for a few weeks here. We want to make sure that it's just at least on your radar. You can just kind of block out all of Q4, and that way everybody will know that you're going to SolidBox World, and then we'll get you a more specific date. But SolidBox World, it's going to be a different type of conference. It's going to have lots of tips and tricks. It's going to have lots of information on different CAD systems. And we're going to kind of learn about some of the different CAD systems that are out there, and not just kind of, be pigeonholed into one. That's not my style. I like to kind of know what's out there, and I like to recognize that there's different tools for different jobs. And so SolidBox World is going to be the place to go to find out about some of those different tools. So SolidBox World, SolidBox World, got a little frog in my throat there when I said that. Coming up here, Q4 2024. All right, let's get into our live solve. We're going to use SolidWorks here to do some 3D modeling. And I think what we're going to model up here is this very same part that we looked at a little bit earlier, the part that I just challenged all of you to do. And the reason I wanted to do this was actually for that ridge there, because I was thinking about that ridge and I was thinking about how to model it. And what I did was I modeled it in a few different ways, and kind of modeled it so that it was, completely embedded in there, and then modeled it so it was sticking out slightly. And then I used that to justify this plus or minus 0.002 pounds. But I think there's kind of an interesting lesson there, or set of lessons there that we can learn from with that model. So I think we're going to go through, we're going to model this up in SolidWorks, and we're going to do this as kind of a live solve. So let's get into it here. We're going to do this. We're going to model up this part, the chair wheel riser, using SolidWorks. And whenever we get into 3D CAD challenge, whenever we're going from 2D to 3D, we always want to start out with a game plan. Before we jump into the actual 3D CAD system, it's good to start with a game plan. And so what that game plan means is, first of all, looking at the information about the material, the information about the units, making sure that we've got a template set up for this, or if we need to, we go into our CAD system and we change those settings so that we're using the appropriate units, the appropriate material. And then we want to start asking ourselves, where should we start with this model? And one of the things that I always look for is kind of common datums or common locations where dimensions are coming from. And so in the case of this model, you can see here that this 3-inch dimension that's coming across is coming from the center of this circular boss. And we also see that this 1.5-inch dimension that's coming over to here is coming from that same circular boss. So because of that, I would think, or what really jumps out to me is, my first feature is probably going to be a sketch of a circle on the top plane, and then I'm going to extrude that up, and the origin is going to be located right here. And that's a great great exercise to practice. If you're looking at physical parts, or if you're looking at 2D prints, just ask yourself, what would be my very first feature? Where would my origin be, and why? And once you start practicing that a lot, you're really going to set yourself up for success when it comes to 3D modeling. And then the next thing you would want to do is kind of think to yourself, how would I build that model? How would I turn that into a 3D model? What would be all the steps that I would use? So I think that for this model, my first sketch is going to be a circle here on the top plane, extrude it up. My second sketch is going to maybe be this angled tombstone shape that's got tangency. My third sketch is going to be this tombstone shaped here, going right to the center of that original circle, and then extruding out in 2 directions. And then I would set myself up to go through and create my cuts. Now, it's going to be once I get to this third step where I've created this tombstone here that I'm going to be ready to create this rib. And I think that's going to be the most interesting part about this tutorial. So let's get into it and let's see how we do it. I'm going to start out by doing a screen capture. We'll do a screen capture just like we do in Model Monday Live. We'll do a screen capture of this print. We'll move this over to our second screen. And now we're going to get into our 3D CAD system. I'm going to be using SolidWorks here. This is going to be SolidWorks undeclared year release. So just kind of random undeclared year release of SolidWorks. And this is going to be using 1060 aluminum alloy, MMGS for my template. So that saves me those steps of setting up my template and my units. I'm going to click on the top plane, begin a new sketch. and orient my view. I'm going to press the S key and launch the circle command. We're going to make a circle here with a diameter of, whoopsie, this is inches. This is inches. Here we go. We're going to make a circle here on the top plane with a diameter of 2 inches. Nice fully defined sketch there because of auto dimensioning. And we're going to bring that up to a height of 2.5 inches. So there's our first feature. Now we're going to go top plane again, begin a sketch. Maybe I'll take this circle and convert it just to give me a little bit easier geometry to work from. And then I'm going to single click here to begin a line, come back, touch the endpoint to come across with an automatic tangent arc, and then create another arc here. And then I can do a crossing select between these two to make them tangent. And then what I like to do is take these 2 points here, make them vertical, take this point here, make it horizontal. And I think that's enough to kind of establish symmetry without needing to go in and put in a center line. It's more like natural symmetry that you get through tangency. So now one of our key dimensions that we identified at the start is this 3-inch dimension going from the center of that circle to the center of this circle. And then we've got a radius here with a value of 0.5. Now, a lot of times in prints and in my prints especially, you'll see this type of a call out where the radius is coming from the center and then the hole there is coming from that same center. So it's always something to look out for. You know, if I've got like a corner that's rounded off, something like this, and then there's a slot going through here, and there's a radius call out that's going from the center of both of them. You know, it's going from the center of the slot to that radius there, and that means that's where the center of the location of the slot is. So it's always something to look out for, is those radiuses being called out. I try to do that pretty consistently, and as I'm saying that, I'm realizing like I actually missed it down here. I probably should have had this dimension also coming from the center, but there's other indicators when you look at a drawing that things are concentric, and so sometimes you have to look for some of those other indicators as well. So now we're going to take this geometry, we're going to do an extrude, and because I've got these overlapping regions here, I just have to pick the region that I want to extrude, and I can say I want that to go up to a height of 0.5. Now I'm going to go to the front plane, and I'm going to create this this tombstone shape. So this is going to come up to a height of 0.625 times 2, or 1.25, and then we're going to come across like so, come back, touch the end point, come across to here, close that thing off, and then just add in a quick dimension here to locate the center of that at 1.5. And now we can take that geometry and extrude it to a depth of 1 inch. And I'm going to right mouse button in the background and say mid plane, and there we go. So now we are ready to create our rib feature. And this is where things get a little bit interesting, because the question is, you know, where is the rib actually touching on this? And the answer is it's supposed to be touching right here at the top. But whenever you've got geometry that is tangent and also touching off at the top, let's say, for example, we did that with a pierce constraint. So the pierce constraint is the relationship of this arc here passing through the front plane. So you've got your front plane that you're sketching on. Front plane is what you're sketching on. This arc here is passing around in a circle, and there's 2 locations where that arc passes through the front plane, right here and right here. Well, what the pierce relationship lets you do is it lets you say, I want to move this point to that location. That's pierce. It's a little bit different from coincident, because there's not like a point there to be coincident too. But there is an arc that's passing through the sketch, and then I'm going to hold control and pick this point. I'm going to say move that point to wherever the arc is passing through. That's pierce. And so now I'm going to go to my angle dimension. So the angle dimension here is 59 degrees. And now I'm going to turn that into a rib. So I go features, rib, and the rib's going to go in that direction, and it's going to have a width of 0.25, and it fails. The resulting rib did not intersect the existing model. What does that mean? Why is it saying that? Well, we can kind of see why that happens when we go to well, first of all, what we should probably talk about is what the rib is actually doing, just in general. So what the rib does in general is it does an extrude up to next in 3 directions. So if we look at this sketch here that I've just created, this line that's just kind of floating in space, the rib extrudes up to next in this direction, and it extrudes up to next in this direction, and it extrudes up to next in this direction. So even though that rib is short there, when we go to the rib command, we see that SolidWorks extends it up to next in all 3 directions. It extended it up to here, it extended it up to here, and it extended it up to here. Well, when that line was originally created, so I'm using Control Z here to undo. So when that line was originally created and it was touching off exactly at this point, if we do this as like a thin feature extrusion, instead of doing it as a rib, if we do it as a thin feature extrusion, and we look at this from the front here, we can see that what we're going to end up with is a little bit of extra material as we wrap around the side of the model. And that extra material wants to shoot up here into space because it's not intersecting with the edge of the model anymore. And so that's what that error message is telling us. When the rib says the model does not intersect with the model, or what did it say exactly? Let's see here, rib, and hit the green check mark. And it says the resulting rib did not intersect the existing model. So what that's saying is, we're trying to extrude up to next and there's nothing to extrude up to. It's very easy to visualize if the rib is out here, because when the rib is out here, we're trying to go up to next and there's nothing to stop it. So there is no next. It just keeps going forever. There's nothing up there to stop it, and so you're going to get that error. But it's a little bit more subtle when like part of the rib is intersecting that curve and part of the rib is not intersecting that curve. So there's a couple ways we could resolve this. We could do it, like I said a moment ago, we could do it as a thin feature extrusion or even as a closed extrusion. So we could do it as a thin feature extrusion. Let's say we went mid-plane to a depth of 0.25 mid-plane. So we could do something like that. This would certainly resolve it, but you end up with this kind of junky result up top here when you do it that way. We could probably resolve this one here by doing a delete face. Nope, doesn't want to let me do that either. So I'd have to, come up with a different solution. Maybe I could take this face, begin a sketch, convert entities, and then extrude that all up to next. So I'd go up to next in this direction, and that would kind of fill that in. That would probably get me close enough. I would probably be within tolerance, if I did it that way, but it just kind of looks junky up here. We could, it looks real junky up there, actually. We could, sometimes when you're in close like that, you're going to want to go into your options and go to your image quality. If you're doing like real tight surfacing, you might want to come in here and optimize edge length and kind of increase your image qualities. When you zoom in, it's a little bit more curvy. But yeah, not so good there with those slivers. Another thing that we could do would be, instead of doing that as a thin feature, we could do it as a normal thick extrusion. So we could still go to the pierce point there, and then we could bring this line, just bring it over. A lot of times when I've got solid cylinders like this, because I haven't put the cut in, I can just go right to the center of the cylinder as my reference, and then this would be 0.25 and it would be mid-plane. So that certainly looks cleaner up top. We still kind of have that extra step there, but it certainly looks cleaner up top. But another solution you could use here is you could roll back before that feature was created. And you could go onto this top surface here and you could begin a sketch. And then once you get into that sketch on the top surface, you could create a line here, a vertical line. So we take a line here that's vertical and it's got coincident. So we could make a vertical line here, and then we could give that line a length. So we go here and we give this thing a length 0.250. And so that length is the width of the rib, right? And so now we can exit that sketch, and now we've got, more or less an idealized location. Whether you're doing it as a rib or doing it as an extrude feature, you can be confident that when you go into your sketch here, instead of this being pierced to the curved edge, you could take this and pierce it to that new line that you created. And now when it extrudes out, it's going to terminate exactly at where the corner of that curve is. Now, the problem here is that we still get left with this kind of junky geometry. So we still have to do some type of a cleanup. Maybe that's a delete face in that region to kind of clean it up. But at least now we know that rib is going right up to that point. And of course, there's other things you could do to dynamically link them together. Like in the extrude, you could go extrude and you could say extrude up to vertex. That's one way you could dynamically link it. Or the other thing you could do here is you could say this equals, you just type in equals, and then you could click on that sketch that we made, and that'll bring up its dimensions. Or it should, maybe it doesn't because it's not a feature. But you could bring up the dimensions for that sketch and then create the reference to that sketch dimension. You might have to do it like just by manually typing in the value of that dimension. So you could do it one way or the other. You could dynamically link them together, and then that might be another way to approach that. You know, hopefully whatever the application is, there's enough tolerance built into the application that you're not gonna run outside of spec. But these are just kind of cool things to think about. When you've got a rib that's coming exactly up to a location, how do you get it to merge in there pretty clean? And this is one technique that I use a lot. I'll put in what is essentially a layout sketch, and then use that layout sketch to drive the location of that, whether it's a rib or whether it's like a tapered out angle. There's a few different ways you can do it. But the point is that you can grab it from there. Victor K says, grab the dimension name from the feature manager while in the sketch. Yeah, exactly. We could go into the sketch here. We could also grab it from here, D1 or D1 at, grab it over here, D1 at sketch 6. And then when we go into the extrude with features, you can just click on the feature itself. So like if I was editing this feature here and I typed in equals, I could just click down here and then the dimensions from this feature should show up. I don't know why they're not. Is the plane visibility like causing me this headache? Let's see here. Edit feature equals. No, the plane is not causing the headaches. That's weird. Usually when I do that, the feature dimensions just kind of show up and then I can click on the feature dimension. But I could also type in here D1 at sketch 6 equals D1 at sketch 6. Maybe I have to do quotes to get it to work. There it is. D1 at sketch 6 with quotes. And then that way, if I were to go back to that sketch and then change that sketch to something 0.75, for example, now the rib automatically updates and has that new length. Yeah, Ross, I tried double clicking and they didn't show up. They always do any other time I do it. I could, for example, I could go in here to this sketch and I could say, I'm going to put in a circle here, and then I'm going to add a dimension in this circle, and I'm going to say this dimension equals, and then I would click on the sketch. See, then its dimensions show up, and then I would just click on the dimension, and then I could say, now they're linked together. So, yeah, I don't know why it wasn't working there in that feature. But regardless, that's just a little bit of food for thought for you. You could get in there and create kind of a layout sketch and use that layout sketch to kind of help drive the geometry of a feature. You could use a layout sketch like this and kind of use that layout sketch to help drive the geometry of a feature when that feature is touching off exactly at that point. And just remember, if you get done with it and it still looks a little junky, delete face is your friend. Whenever you have a tiny little face like this, a lot of times you can just do insert face delete and patch, and boom, there you go. You got something that's nice and cleaned up. Yeah, it is a weird one. All right, and that is going to take care of that. And I hope you guys enjoyed that little SolidWorks demo. I know I didn't do a full live solve, but it is just a little bit of a scenario that comes up a lot, that seems to trip people up a lot in the tournament and in these Model Monday live challenges. And now you know a little bit more about how to do that. And we're going to take a look here at answer number 2. But before we do, I just want to remind you again to please support the channel. You can like and subscribe. Easiest way to support the channel is to hit that like button if you haven't hit it yet. Also, go out and tell a friend, tell a coworker. And if you're interested in a financial contribution, we do have some avenues set up for that. TooTallToby.com/donate. We try to put a lot of value out for everyone. So there is a monthly recurring donation option. So if you ever wanted to set up something as like a monthly donation, get some value, it's kind of like you're watching an online streaming service like Netflix or Disney, but instead you're getting some actual 3D CAD practice and developing a skill and helping the overall engineering community. So if you ever wanted to support that, feel free to support us with a financial contribution. We have lots of avenues set up for that. TooTallToby.com/donate is the ideal avenue. TooTallToby.com/donate. Consider doing a monthly financial contribution if you like what we're doing here. All right, guys, let's get into it. The answer for number 2. This one was really cool. I really had a lot of fun with this one, both modeling it and creating this challenge. And so let's see here. What did the chat think about this one? Let's go through and take a look. Victor K. Aaron C. coming in 467. Victor K coming in 467. Airwick coming in 467. Dom coming in 467. Very nice job to all of those super speedy runners. Mr. Alex, 467. Wow. Weekday weekend, 467. Phosphor, 467. Ross is here in the chat, 467. Very nice. Stu 3D, 467. Dennis Griffin, 467. I like it when we see these consistent answers. Makes me feel very confident that everything you guys needed was on the print. 468 from Amir. A little bit of diversity there. I like that too. Let's see here. Bob Phelps coming in, 466.99. I like it. I like it. All right, guys. Let's see what the correct answer is. The correct answer is 467 grams. So well done to Aaron C. Says this was a very fun part. Good. I'm glad you liked this one, Aaron C. Well done. GG to Aaron C for coming in with the very first answer in that one. Came in super fast. It's a fun little part there. GG to Aaron C. GG to Aaron C. All right, we got caps lock on too. Like it. GG to Aaron C. So guys, that's going to do it for our episode of Model Monday Live today. Be sure to check out our friends over at SolidBox, professional no IT solutions required. Be sure to check out our friends over at Libre. Visit all our sponsors. Onshape, we did post a new Onshape video this week on the Onshape channel. I showed how to create a 3D print of a hex bolt last week, and then we posted the how to create the matching nut, so how to do match threads. There's a if you read in the comments, there's some slightly more efficient ways to do it, but certainly the method that I showed works, and I do have the 3D printed parts to prove it, so you can check that out on the Onshape channel. Visit our new sponsor, jitcadcam.com, our new sponsor for the Final 8. Of course, come back and join us for the Final 8 this week. I want to say thank you all so much to the most amazing chat ever. It is always nice seeing you. Victor K says, wow, the website is already updated. Yeah, that's the power of Bodie McBoat Pants right there. And let's see, next week, March 11th, we might be off. I might have some training stuff that I need to prep and work on, or possibly even a class that I'm going to be delivering. So we might be off next week. I'll let you guys know later in the week. But in the meantime, if you see any practice models, any shorts, any pro moves, be sure to share, be sure to like, be sure to share them out to your network as well. And of course, if you see any CAD vs. CAD tournament collateral going out there for the Elite 8 here, be sure to share that as well. It's a great way to kind of spread the word of the channel. So if you see any of those cool flyers going around saying like the Elite 8, the World CAD vs. CAD tournament, the Spring Open, be sure to share those out to your network as well and invite people to join us. And otherwise, I hope you guys had a great episode of Model Monday Live. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday, a great rest of your week. I will see many of you on Wednesday. So looking forward to the live stream on Wednesday for the tournament. And otherwise, hopefully I'll see you next week in the next episode of Model Monday Live. See you, everybody.